Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. You want a dose of inspiration, that juice? It is July the 14th, 2022, and today the topic is appearances. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, man. This week has just flown by, but I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. There's a couple of little random things happened yesterday, but yesterday also was the second day of kids camp for little man, and so that was nice. Um, Again, I had some more time to talk to my fellow married lady slash mother, and so that was cool as well. Um, I'm really glad that we did that. We took our, sons to experience the kids camp. Shout out to Mountain West again for hosting that event. Um, I believe that, NJ had a great time. And I mean, I guess that's all you can ask for at the end of the day, that they learn something, that they have a good time, that they're able to fellowship and everything like that. I'm going to try my best to go to the serve day on Saturday as well. But yeah, so far so good with my summer challenge, man. The summer Sunday challenge, as well as, just getting more involved and everything like that. And so, yeah, I think so far so good. But anywho, I woke up kind of tired this morning again. I know I turned off my alarm, and then by the time I looked at my phone again, basically it was almost 5, and I was like, "Oh Lord, well, one, thank you for waking me up." I listened to my prayer meditation, and yeah, so I'm kind of tired. Um, yeah, I am kind of tired, and I think I need to, after this, try to get my rest because I have scheduled a couple of episodes of GSL that I need to film. And yeah, so let me go in and then let y'all know about what this this juice is for today. And see can I get some rest between now and a few hours. And well, I know little man's gonna get up, and then I also have to record. So um the topic today, I would say it might be inspired by this show I've been watching lately. I've been watching on Prime the show Ugly Betty. Um, and I know it was a show that's been out for a while and whatnot, but I just never watched it when it was on TV. But for whatever reason, I started watching it recently over the past few days, and I don't know if my mind just was on that this morning as I listened to the prayer meditation, but eventually, yeah, I started to think about this idea of appearances. And when I started to look up, Bible verses and whatnot, here are the ones that was, resonating with me this morning. So 1 Samuel 16:7, it says, "But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look on his appearance or on the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. For the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." It could be something that Dario said last night as well. We were talking about, just I don't know. We talked about a bunch of different things, but he was like, "Oh, you have a beautiful soul, X, Y, and Z," and and that's wonderful that I'm with somebody that sees that and appreciates that and would say something like that and everything. And I mean, I know he was doing a comparison when it comes to, like, I guess, the way women present themselves. I guess you would say it like that. And I was like, well, you ended up with a ragamuffin, because I, for the most part, like, I'll get dolled up every now and then, but for the most part, like y'all see here on the juice, like, this is how I usually am. Like, hair looking crazy. I try to keep up my own nails at this point, but at that, before I started my little hustle from home and doing that, you know, I, I would always just say to myself, man, I need to take care of myself more. I need to, like, do stuff and pamper myself and keep myself up, because I mean, I guess you just have that. That's just something that's out here in the world, right? Like, you need to look a certain way or whatever. Or even when I think about, again, the show that I've been watching lately, the whole Ugly Betty show, where you know, you could tell that the lady that's playing the role of quote unquote Ugly Betty is a beautiful lady, but they just did these things that are seemingly quote unquote not beautiful, and I know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder and everything like that. But I mean, I guess that just reminds me of that verse that I just read, that basically saying that God doesn't look at our outer appearance. And it made me also think about this quote, and I couldn't find it, so unfortunately I can't repeat it correctly. But it was like I kept seeing this quote over the past few weeks, and it's about like if we could see people, I guess, like with the spiritual eye, or use discernment to see people like see their spirit versus just their outer appearance, that we would probably be way more picky about like who we had sex with and who we date and all those different things, because you would be seeing like who they are really, like who they are in the heart, like I guess the way that God sees us. So all of that was something to think about, and those are different things that crossed my mind this morning as I wrote that verse down. But yeah, something to think about there. The next verse that stood out to me this morning is 1 Peter 3:3-4. It says, "Do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing you wear, but let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart, with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious." That made me think about a few things when I wrote it this morning, as well as reading it back now. Well, I mean, ultimately, what I received from it is basically to not, I would say, not only let those things be what adorns us, like, because okay, who else in the church or who else in the Christian community or whatever the case is has ever heard like people down people that like wear makeup or get their hair done or do all those extra things that, again, maybe is our society's norms of beauty, wearing jewelry and all that stuff. They kind of make those things a sin, and I don't know if that's necessarily an accurate thing to do. Like, I don't think it's a sin to wear jewelry, or something like that. This is just me, so y'all can, obviously read the Bible for yourself and use your discernment on that, But in my opinion, I don't think it's a sin to wear jewelry. But if the jewelry is the only beautiful thing about you, then I feel like that's probably where it comes in. If I'm understanding these verses correctly and whatnot, and so that's what I was reminded of as I read this and stuff. I mean, don't let what is on the outside be the only thing beautiful about you. I noticed a lot of this verse and the last verse refer to the heart being the beautiful thing, as well as I noticed that I didn't write them down, but as I was reading, there was a lot of verses that was referring to women when it came to this and what that looked like. So that was interesting as well to observe as I was reading and stuff. Not to say it didn't refer to men too, or that this doesn't refer to men, because again, when you think about that first verse that I read in Samuel, it was talking about men and their appearance and whatnot, and not to look on, he was telling Samuel at the time not to look on the appearance of men, the men he was looking at for king. So I believe it's something for men and women, basically, is my point of sharing that part. But yeah, that also stood out to me this morning as well. I have one more verse to share, and it's Matthew 23:28. It says, "So you also outward appear righteous to others, but within you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness." So I mean, again, we talk about this all the time too, especially in the Christian community, like this whole idea of acting holier than thou, but then on the inside, or how you treat people or whatever the case is, doesn't reflect like what you try to exude or something like that. So I mean, that's just should be a check for everybody, a little something that everybody should keep on their hearts and minds about this whole appearances thing. The interesting thing too was, as I was writing out verses this morning, I didn't necessarily feel led to write down any verses or mark any of the verses as go deeper. Now, not that there's not places to go deeper. I mean, I think you could read that account in Samuel, about Samuel picking the king. That'll be a good place to go deeper. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of places, I guess, but I just didn't feel led to write any of them down. So that's one thing. But one thing I did feel led to write down for going deeper today is to pray for discernment. Because I guess I was really just thinking about that quote that I had messed up earlier, trying to tell y'all. And I kept trying to look for the quote, but I couldn't find it. But I think as we pray for discernment, then we'll be able to, make wiser decisions about not only who we deal with and stuff like that, but then I guess, but maybe even also how we communicate with people and present ourselves and all those things. And, ultimately, I guess that's the juice this morning. That is the juice. The Bible verse of today is Luke 1:37. It says, for with God, nothing shall be impossible. So, friends, I hope you all enjoy this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Just a reminder that tomorrow is Friday. So that means we have a new episode of God, Sex, and Love, the talk show that will be going live at 7. That will be a chat with doctors. Both of them are doctors, Dr. Latoya and Dr. Elizabeth Rainwater. They're going to be sharing about their business endeavors. They have a Etsy store called ELR Shop. So be on the lookout for that conversation tomorrow. And yes, I hope that you all have a wonderful day today. Bye-bye. There you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. I hope that you all are both beautiful on the outside and inside, And that's the juice for today. Like I said, I got a pretty busy day ahead, so I need to go to sleep. I need to try to go back to sleep. But thank you all so much for listening and watching. I did see a couple of you all tuning in, so thank you to the ones that watched live. And I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.